Oh, what a great way to start a video. I love space. Really not much of a secret because I did a whole Space Month thing about it earlier. So I was really excited when this big blockbuster movie starring George Clooney and Sandra Bullock was gonna be about space. The trailers made it seem pretty interesting too because all it consisted of was people just trying to grasp space objects and missing, and then it was like, boom, gravity, whoa. So the trailers didn't really give anything away, so I went in knowing absolutely nothing. Well, that's not true. I knew it was about space. The trailers actually made me kind of worry about it though. I was wondering how they were gonna fashion some sort of cohesive storyline when the trailer just showed people almost missing space objects. It happened just like this, like, oh no, I didn't get it, oh no. But it's space. And I gotta say, the movie that was shown was really, really, really tense. Throughout the whole movie, I was sitting there like, this is my tense stance. Tense stance is hard to say. There is a narrative, obviously. Though it's just a small narrative, it really gets the job done and it really gets the movie going. And once it starts going, it doesn't stop going. Like, really, the whole time it's like, oh, space objects, no! But what makes the movie great is not how many tense scenes it has, but how it was shot and how they place things and the use of computer images that look incredibly good, by the way. Eat your heart out, Man of Steel. A lot of the point of the movie is to make you feel isolated so you can fully understand the terrors of being spun, you know, out into nothingness, which is what space is, nothing. So there's a lot of these swooped out images where you can really see how far away everything is into the vast emptiness of space. Also, there's a lot of one-shot scenes. For those of you that don't know, one-shot scenes are scenes that are shot in, you get it. One of the most famous ones being from Goodfellas, where a bunch of people are walking into this restaurant and all sorts of things are happening. They're walking through a kitchen and there's people like, hey, we're in the kitchen. And it's really interesting because it shows good direction if you can manage that many people at one time without the camera stopping. Now, I realize that most of this was CGI, really, really good CGI, but to choreograph the actors in a certain way and where the camera needs to be to show a specific emotion like isolation really proves that the director knew what he was doing. And in fact, like, the first shot of the movie lasts about like 15 minutes. It's amazing. Not only does it do isolation very well, but it does huge, massive objects on the screen really awesomely too. Because, I mean, you can't get much bigger than space. Most of this movie is shot with the Earth in the distance, and if you can see this movie in the IMAX, I highly, highly recommend you doing so. Because you really get a scope of how big everything is and how tiny, itty bitty tiny you can be in space. Or how itty bitty tiny the main character can be in space. Now, I don't want to give that much of the plot away because it's really not the main focus of the story. The main focus is to feel that isolation in size and scope. So if you can see it in the IMAX, definitely see it in the IMAX. I also saw it in 3D, which was also really cool, but if you can't make it in 3D, it's like, you know, it's not a big deal. But this is actually a pretty strange movie. I mean, the way that things are shot is different. It has a very small cast, only 2 people. What? So if you're into something that's just different, it's worth it to go see it that too. But make sure you go see it. This is something that I'm actually recommending. Go see it. In fact, this movie was actually so good and engrossing that in the middle of the production, the fire alarm went off and no one wanted to leave. Like, it was flashing for like a good 4 minutes before people were like, hey, I think we should get out of here. I mean, we might die. So yeah, it's really just something different and something good. And when you put that together, you get gravity. That wasn't a pun. I feel like I could have put a pun there, but I just don't know anymore. I should really think of some sort of thing to say at the end of these videos, huh? Oh well.